Hey guys, my name is Rohit Singh, and in this video we will see what are looping statements. Well, this is the current playlist of C++ programming. In the previous video we saw that what are different kind of condition statements. We saw how you can control codes and customize your codes according to the preference problem. Well, in this video we will see what are the different categories of loops, and we will practically see how these loops work. Widely, the loops can be categorized into two parts. One is entry control, another one is exit control. Basically, control is nothing but to add conditions. In the previous video we saw that there are different kind of conditions like if else, if, or if else if is nothing but ladder or a nested, right? So controlling means, if you are entry control means nothing but before the starting of loop you are adding a condition, right? And then exit control is nothing but you are adding the condition in the exit. So this is basically the concept behind entry control and exit control. Now let's see what is while and do while loops. Basically you can see the syntax of while loop first. It's nothing but while and then condition, and within that bracket you have some statement, right? So what happens is that this is basically the loop. Within that braces, right, we call this as the braces. So within this braces everything will run or will be in loop until and unless the condition is false. So this is called as the entry control loop, because in the entry of that loop, in the entry of that braces, there's a condition, right, in the entry. So this is what we call as the entry control loop. Then comes syntax of the do while. Basically do while is nothing but there is a keyword called do, and within that braces we have some particular statement that will run, and after that statement we have a condition, right? So this is called as the exit control loop. The reason is because the condition is at the end of the bracket or the braces, right? So the thing with the do while loop is that the statement will at least run one time before going to the condition. It will check the condition at the last, but for at least one time it will run the statement. So this is what is all about while and do while. Now we will see practically how while and do while works. Now let's write the syntax in the C++ compiler. While would be the keyword, and within that there would be a condition, and before the while loop we will write an initialization of a variable for the expression to be true in the condition. Then we will write the statement that has to be repeated in the loop, and beneath that we will write an update statement, or we can say an increment statement, so that the variable will be updated every time, and there would be one moment of time where the condition will be false. Now let's initialize I is equal to 0 at the beginning. In the while loop we will write if suppose I is equal to 10, and the statement could be cout I and we will write I++. I++ is basically increment statement. It will increase the value of I once. Okay, we have to change the condition here to I not equal to 10 actually. Now let's run and try. Yes, it's working fine. You can see it's printing from 0 to 9, because when it's the condition is going to true in the value of 10, it's breaking the loop, right? So it's only printing from 0 to the value of 9. Now let's see. Yes, it's printing from 1 to 10 because I've incremented the value of cout to I+1. So every time it's like 0 plus 1, then 1 plus 1, and 1 plus 2, similarly till 9 plus 1, that is 10. Now let's see how a do while works. Basically do should have a bracket within that and a number of initialization, then after a while condition, then we have to write a semicolon after that while loop. You can see in the syntax, this is how the syntax is for do while, and you can see it is printing from 1 to 10. What if the condition is, like 1, till 1, the value of I should be till 1, right? You can see it's printing only 1, which means that this statement will run at least one time. Now let's understand what is a for loop. Basically, the syntax of for loop looks something like this. There are basically 4 different parts, or if you have to make a for loop, there must be 4 different parts of the loop. First is the keyword called for. Actually, for is written in the capitals, but you have to write in small case letters. Every keyword is written in small case letter in C++ programming language specifically. Basically, there are 4 parts. One is statement 1, then a semicolon, then statement 2 semicolon, then statement 3, and after statement 3 there is no semicolon, right? And then after the block, that is within the bracket. So these are the 4 statements. First statement is nothing but the initialization statement. Initialization statement is nothing but where you initialize the variable. Then comes second statement, that is the test expression. You test that the particular condition is true or not. Then after that, you don't jump into the third statement, you actually go into the block, right? So basically the flow is nothing but you will go to 1, then 2, then you will go to the body or the block, that is the fourth. And after doing whatsoever is after applying the statement, then you will jump to the statement 3 and you will check. And this is basically what will happen in the first loop, or the first time when the loop runs. After that, after the statement 3, it will go to statement 2 again. And statement 3 is nothing but a update expression. It will update the variable and it will check in statement 2 that after updating, is the condition valid or not. If it's valid, it will go inside the loop, or else it will jump out, it will break the loop basically. Now let's understand practically how this for loop works. Now let's remove the previous statement and write for, and inside that, as I told you, there would be 3 statements. One is the initialization, that is int I is equal to 0, then a compulsory semicolon, then I is less than 11, and an increment statement I plus plus, and then a body of the loop. Basically, first it will go to the first statement, then second statement, then it will jump to the body, then it will go to the increment statement. Now let's try to run this. Now you can see it is printing from 0 to 10 because it is less than 11, right? It will not print 11, it will be printing from 0 to less than 11, that is from 0 to 10, and every single time I plus plus is incrementing. So this is how the for loop works, right guys? Now let's see some modifications of it. Now let's remove all this and write only semicolon and semicolon. So is that an error? Let's check that out. We will write a star just to see how does it looks. If I print this, you can see it is printing infinite times. It means this statement works, but it would work for infinite many times. Well, in the syntax, the 2 semicolons are one of the very important thing. Without that, it will show an error. Now let's try some experiment and let's understand what can be done to what can be the pattern of for loop that we can act upon. Let's try to initialize the variable outside the for loop, and then we will increment, and then after we are writing a semicolon, guys. The semicolon after that is called as an empty body. Right, the value of I will be incrementing in an empty body, and then after till the last value the I is terminating, it will print that value. That is see, you can see the I is terminating at the value of 10. So the value of I is having the 10 at the last, so I is printing 10. Well, that's all from my side, guys. If you find this video informative, do like, share and subscribe to our channel. Well, the next video will be on jump statement, which is one of the very important topics that people often ignore, which is often asked in many interview questions and gate examinations. So I hope you will be in the next video. Till then, stay tuned.